Yo, what's up, everybody? All right, market started. Someone go ahead and skip the intro here. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, let's go. Get everybody here. My stream stuff is being all funky today. New version of Rocket Scooter out today. Doomsday up on the platform. You guys are excited about that? We've been working hard on this guy. Always innovating, always changing, always bringing the best stuff to you. Right. All right. What's up? Let me get some music in here. Hold on. Yeah, it's a little behind today. Let's watch. You know, I wasn't really expecting to do too much, anyways, because of FOMC and all that. So we'll see what we got. Let's check out the new version of Rocket Scooter. We'll talk about the patch notes today. Maybe if the music's too loud. I really gotta go balance my sound out. What y'all doing? Good morning. All right, let's go. New version of Rocket Scooter. We got a bull long up. S&P 106 support. Good. I'm looking at that. Resilience says this is looking really nice. Resilience DD on the floor. Got it. Looking solid. All right, patch notes. We'll talk about those in just a little bit. Love you guys. All right, okay, take it easy today. We're gonna be looking for entry points on different things. Oh, that's Disney, my bad. But SPY front and center. Didn't make any new trades today, yesterday. I have my Apple and Google still. Those are longer term positions, and killed it last week, and I killed it again this week, hopefully. 388.5 BLU, take the first thing you do. You love our... This is our liquidity map cheat sheet. Liquidity map says BLU. I come to BLU. I'm looking for dips off of blue. Boom. All right, 388.5. That's a gap and go with resilience. Positive. Ooh, nice. Let's check out the Doomsday bands. Number 2, Doomsday being... Why? I can always resize this. Put this over here. There we go. Okay, let's check out the bands one at a time. S&P opening irrational. Nasdaq opening irrational. Russell opening in the band. Okay, that's good. So market is irrational today. VIX is completely collapsing, falling to August triple B. This could be a reversal point for the afternoon. The rule with Doomsday is anything that opens inside the bands, when that number is greater than half, it touches the upper band. If it's less than half, it touches the lower. It's outside the bands, it doesn't apply. Irrational market, rule number 1. Let's pull up Rocket Scooter. Check out rule number 2. So I'm going to do any trades today. Those irrational flags, you just sit out and do absolutely nothing. You can do whatever you want. I sit down and do absolutely nothing. I like to take the day off. I went to IKEA yesterday with my day off. And I just realized I'm doing faux pas number 1 when it comes to streaming. I'm wearing a green shirt in front of a green screen, so I don't know what it's going to look like. Maybe black? Interesting. Catalyst day? No catalyst today yet. We have FOMC decision day tomorrow, so I want to see VIX and decay. That's really good. There are no VIX call walls, so that's great. Our 5 rules we do every morning. We check our pre-market checklist. It literally takes 10 seconds. You just watched it. You want to review what that is? Go right here. Does it look black? Am I sparkling? Does it look like, you know, green screen sometimes gets a little fuzzy? This is my pre-market checklist I do every day. I'm going to show you really quick. So no entries, nothing right now just yet. Number 1, markets irrational outside the Doomsday band. Check. Okay. The Discord will actually have all of those rules there. If you guys want to go and follow along, go to the stop rules section of our Discord right here. Ingram, welcome to the Lifetime Crew. Appreciate you taking the plunge here. Let me get you your stuff really quick. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you're loving it. You kind of joined us the last month or so. All right. When VIX travels more, the 1 risk interval check. Didn't do that, so no irrational. When the S&P opens beyond the risk interval band, irrational, yes. Up here, market's going to be crazy and flip-floppy. So one of them there, a catalyst day, and not really today. There's nothing really out there that's moving the market higher that I consider a catalyst for our market, so that doesn't check. VXY is greater than a call wall. That's number 4. Oops, that didn't apply. And then, of course, any hedge pressure breaks, which we have not experienced yet today. So we just have one irrational flag today, which is being outside the DD bands. You may notice, everybody, how do you open the Doomsday band? What do you mean? The band isn't displayed on your chart yet. That's the next patch. So the number was a whole different thing just to do the correlation. The band we draw on, I draw on Thinkorswim as the indicators being produced now. Our lifetimers get access to all of our beta tools before they're released. So that's the whole point of lifetime. You get to play with it before it's released. Okay. So markets irrational, the upside, bull long up. I'd like to bet on a long once we hit the bottom there. My apples are still running. I like them. Let's put them front and center on the screen today. My apples are apple. Oh, here they are. Okay, apples. So I have 152.5. They're in the money. Apples, they are literally for November the 25th. They've been in the money. They're just hanging, nothing too big, just 10 contracts. But let me talk about my massive Google position. Let's look for some plays right off the scanner. How does that sound, ladies and gentlemen? How are my other Googles doing? Oh yeah. Okay, good. Okay. Am I looking a little shiny? Should I change my shirt? Should I go back to the Forrest Gump thing? Hold on. Let me put my glasses here and let me see if I really look bad. I don't look shiny, do I? Turn on my shirt or just me? I'm shiny? Well, I'm in a good mood. Oh, is that a beard? Is that a beard joke? You make a Listen, guys. Forrest Gump for Halloween. I know you don't recognize this imposter, but it's really me. I promise. It's really me. Okay, back to being serious. I'm gonna long spy off 388 on the gap fill. Resilience stays positive. Resilience is the tiebreaker at this white line. As long as we're trading above this white line and this is positive, then white line is support. BLU is a support at 388. I look for that, and I'm gonna look for monthly hedge pressure, which is way down here because that volatility is expected to be very high going into FOMC tomorrow. So what I'd like to see is the FOMC trade us down for 1 or 2 days, and Daddy's gonna go shopping after that, along all the things. I think we've exhausted JP Morgan. I'm glad I closed out of that trade. It's still going though. I got 1100% on my JP. Texas Instruments is gapping up. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Right on LMC, we're gonna search for all the bull setups and long ups that match what's going on with SPY. Bull long up, I'm gonna select all the bull longs. We're also gonna look for things that haven't moved yet. Something below half gap, for instance, that needs to go up to half gap. And we need something that is also above MHP. Okay. So here, I'm gonna look for something that's a distance from, the distance here. Okay, cool. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for stocks that should be bullish but haven't moved yet with resilience positive, and we're trading below half gap, easily done like that. So I'm gonna find ones right on the edge of monthly hedge. So, ooh, was that, did I see Google pop up on there? I know I'm a big fan of this Google play. It goes out to December 9th, so I'm looking all right. Okay, so Google is gapping up and trading down. I don't like the idea that, again, it's below monthly hedge pressure, but hey, it's in that specific setup. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. picked above monthly hedge pressure. So let me make a note of that. Walgreens. Hmm. I'm looking for stocks target. It's nice having the DD number on there anymore. If you guys that are doing it manually, if y'all could still do it, just to compare the two. Okay, let's see what we got. Target. Yeah, so I'm looking for stocks that are going to be... Now, as long as resilience stays above 0, then that's a support. But like I said, I haven't done anything yet, which is good. Irrational markets are going to be irrational. Gap up, trade down, right? You know that from the start. That's why I'm not eager to do anything. And most people that go out there try to trade everything they see. Let's long this, let's short this. Who knows who wants to do anything? I don't. Outside the band, I don't do anything. Now we're inside the band. Market's rational again. Let's start choosing what we think we want to do, right? So, I mean, even so today with FOMC tomorrow, I'm not eager to do anything. We talked about monthly maps. As IVs are growing in options, not the best time. I need to obviously be on the sell side if I want to be in any kind of position, because I want to sell into that premium that's growing on IV and let that IV crunch me out into my pocket, as opposed to losing that from a being long those options. So right now I'm just gonna let the market pull back and sell. Like I said, a rational market's gonna be irrational. Now that it's back in the band, I can make a rational decision to do something. That was the only flag that we had. And so I'm still gonna get back on the index and double check everything here. And let's go ahead and put QQQ res on the table as well. At the bottom. Qs are still looking slightly better. Again, Apple's a swing for the 25th of November. Not in any hurry to do anything. Let's see if I can't find me some NQs to scalp. Now here's the thing, right? Monthly resilience is less than 0. Let's just grab one mini. Monthly res is less than 0, so I'm very cautious here. There's a very high probability that this does break and lose structure. So if it does, then we're not in a good setup. Now with resilience less than 0, again, I'm expecting the S&P to resist its own monthly res. So this is not a good sign. This is likely forecasting that we will break through, and that's probably a bad trade I got in, which is okay. Just scalping. I went to last week I had like a 70K profit week. It was phenomenal how called the bottom, grabbed all the things. So I'm just playing light. One mini is not a lot, up and down, maybe like $1 grand, $2 grand a day. When you scalp futures with a mini or micro, about $100, $200 a day. So again, like, you know, I was hoping that we would get that bounce on Qs. Probably not, but we'll see. I'm looking for MHP 280, 279 would be a second stop. I'll go ahead and pile in right there. We'll check something on my phone. It's irrational market, so I'm just scalping just to play. I wouldn't be too excitable on anything today going into FOMC. Hold on one second. I'm gonna start looking for some options. GD is 0.84. Yeah. So in a BSU, right, on the liquidity map, what I put right here, I will show you what BSU looks like. BSU, I look for that yellow to blue scalp on that BSU. So I might double down somewhere in here, but the problem is that resilience is not giving me that love that I want. So maybe I'll add like... Yeah, so I don't want to do options today. Again, I was just doing a little scalp to see if we got that blue to yellow. And if I just lose 1 point, then I lose 1 point, then I'm out. Looking for just a scalp in this range. Likely to trade right back up to open price would be my target today if I got it. But with res is less than 0, well, obviously, then this is not really a great sign. I probably should just bail on this. So yeah, instead of just being in a spot where I'm just holding on the way down. Hit that like button, you guys. Very quick. Scroll down, press like, and then I'll show you another thing that I'm going to do going into next week. Okay. Okay. All right, now let's find some stocks. What I want to do is I'm going to look for some things, or just to do a day trade. That ES kind of dropped pretty quick. Took it spiraling. So like I said, today is a day where it's preferably just to sit out. I'm gonna try to get a scalp off of this, but again, not really too eager to play anything too hard. BSU, I look for those monthly hedge to hedge trades, and again with res less than 0, it's probably gonna go down and fill the gap. So not really gonna do much from here. Google looking nasty. Oh dude, yeah, Google's looking pretty bad. So for me, Google was a play for December, so everything else after FOMC, I'm looking pretty excited for that. Looking at plays today, let's look at Tesla. So I'll go over some of the new stuff with Rocket Scooter, but in general today, we kind of have just kind of a chillax, kind of sit out day. Nothing really exciting. Okay. So Tesla's a BLD, and in those BLDs, I usually scalp from here to here and here to here. Again, with res less than 0, the market's gonna have that downward pressure. I would probably today look for scalps in general, anything that's in between the two hedge pressures from one to the next. And I wouldn't be going super greedy on that either. Let's see. Okay. Back to the scanner. I'm looking for things that still have bull structure. I'm looking for things that are now, let's look for some shorts. Since resilience is less than 0, let's change this to be above half gap instead of below. So now we're going to look for things that are lagging behind the index, and then we can search for those that way. Actually, I'm going to look for ones that are below monthly. So these are looking for bear setups that are lagging the index while the index is selling. And I can search for ones that are right on that bounce point, CMG, as an example, is below monthly. It's right on the edge, and it's above half gap. So if you're looking for things that are going to be following the index, this is how I do it. I look for something that's at a spot where it wants to trade down and fill. So like scalping from here to here would be one that I look for. PPG. If you sort by distance from monthly, it'll actually show you in a percent basis the distance from each one of these places. So if you want that actionable pivot, you can actually sort and isolate exactly what you want. Like if your bread and butter scalp are these BLDs and you want to scalp from here to here, here to here, then you can search for just exactly that. So, and then I'm just showing you which ones are right on the edge. Someone's MU. Here to here. Let's get my Apple on the screen as we manage that as well. The idea is, should I hold Apple or should I can it or add to the position? The expiration is November the 25th, so I got plenty of time for this to play out. Obviously, if I want to add to the position, I don't want to add into the position with the IV the way that it is. I was hoping that it would bloat up until FOMC. And I only have 10, which gives me the freedom to buy like hundreds more in case it does dip for months out. So what's that feature? So the feature would be, an example is if you like any one of these setups that are your favorite setups, scalping between BLD, for instance, is one of my favorites. So I can go through here and I can go to strategy and I can search for just that setup. And it's going to show me all stocks that are at that exact spot. I'm going to find ones that are above half gap and below monthly, and that'll generate something that looks just like this. Essentially, it's looking for something that's, sorry, not half gap. So I can search for exactly that layout. Now, there are none that are showing up to say that there's something that is exactly in between here and a BLD. It should show up. Need to do greater than hedge pressure, my bad. Like that. Yeah. So this is going to generate a list of stocks just like Micron that are in that same boat. And I can pick which side of the coin I want to be on. If I'm looking for dips to buy, let me find like Mara is right on the edge. And I'm finding stocks that are actually at either pivot. Yeah. And we can actually add one more to this. Pretty cool. Okay. And now pick whatever you like. So from here, I'm going to look for, on the BLD, the short ones are going to be against monthly hedge pressure. The long ones are going to be against hedge pressure. So I'm going to find some short setups. I'm going to say ones that are right on the edge, Micron, NOC, F, APA, pins, etc., are going to be right near that monthly. You want to push it lower towards. Now, some of these don't have a lot of distance to trade on. One of the indicators we're going to make is the distance. So you can actually sort by the ones that have the most travel, which will kind of give you the best, like the best run potential for those 0 days and such. So on the long side, you have TLT, Apple's right on the edge, UMP, Dow, U, etc. Pens, again, it's kind of sandwiched between the two. And I'm looking at Apple right here. It's like, ooh, there's Apple hitting hedge pressure on a BLD. Should I take that long? And the possibility is like, maybe yes. You guys got that? All right. Okay, I'm gonna count to 5. You guys click that like button. Let's get it up. I'm gonna take a break. Imagine I'm like Joe Biden, right? As he's giving a speech, and he starts to power down because he's hooked up to all kinds of like tubes and cables. He's really a robot. So I'm starting to power down in the middle of my speech. Those likes fuel me. They rev me back up so I can continue to be coherent. Woo! Oh, I'm back. Whew. Love you guys. All right. 1 second. Oh, stretching. All right. Ooh, there she goes. There's that apple. Now, if I do want to take the apple scalp, 155. These are in the money. So let me see if I can find me some better apples. Again, I don't want to long anything as far as putting money into IV, going into FOMC. Nothing much. These are swings for a month out. But if it wasn't like pre-FOMC catalyst day and we were a rational market, the short from here to here is always a setup as a BSD, or actually it was a BLD at the time. S and L have to do with the long or short side of hedge pressure. So that, again, on playbook, you can see that if you're quick, whatever you're searching for, if you're a bear looking for bearish scalps, the BSD is a bearish setup, or aside the BLD is a scalp from here to here or here to here, and that too from hedge pressure to hedge pressure just took off. So this is kind of what Rocket Scooter is showing you where liquidity maps are. So if the market is opening high and trading lower at that bear structure and resilience is less than 0, and as I said, stocks are likely going to fill the gap, which is why I'm not scooping anything up right here, you know the fulfillment is to there. Does that make sense? So what DD actually means, it's a brand new indicator that we made that's looking for the distribution of all risk of each individual stock in the index. And what we noticed is when that number is greater, so there's an exploit that we have called risk interval. It exploits something in CME span, which has to do with the thing that sets margin requirements in futures. Forget everything I just said. It's a long-winded answer. There is a number that we give you that you can draw a band off of yesterday's close, and you can predict if you open inside of that band almost every single time. It was like 92, 93% when we checked it. Over the history of the data, is that if you open inside the band, that DD number being greater than half, it will have touched the upper band at least once. If DD is less than half, it will have touched the lower band at least once in that daily session. If it touched it overnight like it did now, right here, see how we touched it overnight with DD's what, 0.94? Then it's already happened, it doesn't count. So it's a setup that if you open nice and flat and that DD is less or greater than 1/2, it will pivot a certain distance to those bands. It's a fantastic indicator that looks for, the idea is futures will get ahead of what it's expecting the index to be. So futures are trying to get ahead of that stuff. And so we can actually show how these things pivot. I mean, these things pivot so great. It touches the upper band. Here touches the upper band, touches the lower band. It's a really neat thing, and it has to do with margining and risk of margin calls in a way when it comes to people's positions in futures, like large firms and funds. And so the neat part about DD is the rule is if you open in the band, again, you can use it. If you open outside the band like we did, we don't use it anymore. So it doesn't count today, but it's another layer to the market as we're using machine learning and other techniques to kind of find other things that we didn't know were rules. This is a new one we found this year. The risk interval is something we always use. We notice that there's high volume pivots at those levels. As far as making them predictable, this is a way to do that. What DD looks for is the sum of all stocks that are bearish and bullish in their positional risk. So essentially walls and zones, right? Stocks that are B are bullish, stocks that are BR are bearish. And so it's looking for a distribution. Hold on, wait, let me one second really quick. So what it does is it looks for, essentially it'll line up all the stocks and say how much how much of them are bullish, how much of them are bearish, and it's looking for that kind of skew of positions. So if everyone's bullish, if it's 100, then every stock is a B. And so you'd expect, if the market was flat and all the stocks had that bull bias, you'd expect it to want to climb higher until it bumps into one of these resistances. And these bands, I'm not going to lie, like everything here, predict volume. So all of our indicators predict volume. If you want to see that right here, volume ramping up as you're interacting with this band, you see that? The neatest thing about every one of our indicators, there's 14 of them in total, is unlike anyone else out there, most indicators or algorithms or whatever try to predict where the stock market's going to go based on price, which is a fool's errand. Nobody's magic sauce, technical algorithm, indicator, whatever, is ever going to predict the stock market. 0% chance anyone will ever do it. If you find somebody that has a magic sauce, you know, sneeze infinite colors on your screen, draw shapes and give them weird names after animals and stuff, and that magic algorithm makes free money, why don't you just tell me, because I won't wake up in the morning and stream anymore. Let them make me millions of dollars and I don't have to trade anymore. That'd be fucking awesome. I don't have to get out of bed. So you guys find me that magic sauce technical analysis indicator that predicts stock market, I'll sign up tomorrow. Now, but jokes aside, all of our indicators, what they do is actually predict volume before it happens. You see this massive volume spike right here at this band. There's a reason these bands mean something, and you can't argue with what you see. This is at 3 o'clock in the morning Central. What's happening, or 3:06, so 4:06 Eastern. There's nothing really going on right here. Do you guys see that? So the whole point is that what is going on here is, let us worry about that. We tell you that there is major resistance there and major support there on the other side. You can't argue with what you see. So what is going on with this magic number? See, the difference between magic colors and magic numbers is magic colors are for 5-year-olds. Magic numbers are for scientists. So let's look for some magic numbers, and I'll show you what they do. So what the risk interval bot actually is right here. Every week, we will update these numbers, and this is an exploitive CME span, which is a program that the CME group made so that clearing firms and brokers can set margin requirements for futures contracts. Long story short, at the edge of those ranges, you see a lot of hedging, and the proof is in the pudding. You will see that hedging where that volume is in those bands. So market is trying to guess, or the futures market's trying to guess where the stock market's going, right? It's futures. And so it's going to move up or down until it bumps into resistance. So what we try to do is isolate everything that's a mechanical resistance that no matter what is repeatably going to be in the same place. As you see right here, this is a resistance. It's not the only resistance, but it's a resistance. When you get close to it, there's a resistance. You get close to it, there's volume. So as a trader, what you really care about is pivoting your trades against volume, where you know other traders will be. Why trade if you don't know where other traders will be? And actually, let me go ahead and close this NASDAQ out. I think I'm going to get screwed on that. I knew it was a bad trade from the start. Little teeny weeny scalp. On that next green candle that comes up, when we likely trade through equilibrium, I'm probably just going to close it out. Yeah, I mean, no entries in the big positions today at all is, I think, the best sauce for the day. With DD greater than 1/2, being inside the band, it's already touched. I'm not excited to see this market do much. Like I said, one futures contract, not a big deal. I'm sitting on my hands for most of my plays to look for really good entries going into next week and the week after. And I'm putting my expirations in December. Okay. So irrational market, yeah, just on your hands. There's really nothing to say from that. You guys have any questions about the thesis that we had? Do you want to talk about Rocket Scooter new release? Okay, we're double checking DD. So letting you guys know, today's DD is actually the market cap weighted version, which is the brand new version of this. So the one we've manually been doing hasn't been market cap weighted just because it was a test environment. So the pivot is greater than half, less than half. It's the number of stocks that are bullish versus the number of stocks that are bearish. Now the DD is reflecting the percent market cap that's in B divided by the total market cap of B plus BR. Okay. Does that make sense? So this is a market cap weighted version, but what I've asked them to do is produce me a manual calculation of the non-market cap weighted version, just so I can double check that all the inputs are correct. But yeah, so this is the market cap weighted version, which is neat. Neat to see. So the newer finalized version in the platform is that. Okay, so let's go through some new features. Today, my patch note set. Today, ladies and gentlemen, Cadets Rocket Scooter has a new release. This is a big one. We've been waiting a long time for this one to come out. We have Doomsday finally in the platform and a couple other things. This is version 2.5.0. Excited to share the new releases with you, and of course go through all the new stuff we developed and detail a little bit about it. We'll have training videos on all the stuff as it comes through. I will first and foremost tell you that we have all of our information up at the top ready for you, available for the index SP500. We'll have resilience, monthly resilience, the new DD up at the top, and it also shows hedge pressure, monthly hedge pressure, just to have it there for your memory. And NASDAQ is showing there as we left justified that, put that up near the center. That's cool. We have moved the half gap hedge pressure numbers to the left instead of the right. Normally the right justification made you always adjusting your chart. Reality, when you click center, you want to see those numbers right out the door and what they are. So that's been changed. We have fixed the formatting issue for the phone numbers on the website, which is great. You type in your phone number. It used to have you had to input everything just specifically like it said. It's a sign up thing. It was annoying, but now it's fixed. Now we auto format your phone number, country code, everything. There's no more weird, annoying hurdle on the website, just little things we find. The liquidity map zones to more accurately reflect the trading day and prepare for the new indicators. So what we've done with this is that the liquidity map zones are designed to only show during the active period that's being traded. So we have these boxes just drawn till the end of the day. Right now, we've modified how far out they go to their applicable trading window, which is going to be from 9:30 Eastern until 4:15 Eastern. When you look at these two, this is the range at which the options are trading. So that's the range at which we care about. As far as viewing on a window, from here, we're going to have dynamics. We're preparing to put dynamics on the chart, which is coming up this year, and Doomsday Band, which should be coming up in the next patch right there. And then another thing is that when you center the chart, it's supposed to get all the information on the chart for you. I will explain what that means. And I'm not, if they've completed it this time, I'm very excited. They're getting close to that. It looks like right here. What it's going to show is all the information on the trading day when you pick any ticker. No more resizing this axis or this axis is the plan. So maybe we're getting lucky. Yeah, they haven't finished that part yet. But essentially what the next patch is going to do is going to have everything shown front and center just like that when you switch to a new ticker. No more fiddling with the axes, which is good. So we're going to change a little bit about how Rocket Scooter displays things on higher end time frames. That's another thing. When you have like a weekly candle, how are you going to draw 5 hedge pressures? These are things we're working on right now. One of the bigger changes, we have getting started videos on your dashboard now to train you on the Rocket Scooter stuff. You'll see that there's a brand new kind of look and feel to it. You can see this hideous looking guy right here. and all the training videos, you'll see that getting started is going to start showing the actual training path with the new videos we've been making, 10-minute long or less videos, just to train on each of the features. So that's really exciting that all these new things are coming through, and I'm really excited to share with you guys these new patches. Market cap weighted DD is a huge change. A couple of bug fixes that we've also had. The less than half gap strategy was producing the wrong outputs. We just made a bunch of strategies. That one was wrong. They fixed the math on that. We fixed the infinite loop bug on the walls widget, that if you typed in a typo, it would infinitely loop the error because it was trying to recalculate every time. We fixed that. I would say we removed on the dashboard some cosmetic things that were confusing about your memberships. So another thing is that when you go to your dashboard talking about the membership you have, it would have information just from our payment provider showing, you know, what package you're in, the cost of the package. If you used a coupon, they gave you a discount. The dashboard didn't reflect displaying it even though you were getting it, so it was a little confusing. Some people were thinking their coupons didn't apply, but they did. So like I said, we're hard at work fixing these little things. You guys reporting things to tech support is really nice. We have a huge team of people going there fixing things one at a time. We love y'all to death, and thank you for all your help there. Number of tickers selected in scanner is now displayed. Interesting. I'm gonna ask him where that's displayed at. Oh, here it is, 38. Wow, okay, so cool. So this will tell me the number of stocks that actually are flagged in my scanner settings. Even cooler. That's a nice to have. That must have been requested by my project team because I don't remember asking for that. I love that idea though. Thank you whoever on the team pushed that through. I think I must have approved it in my sleep because I approve all the changes, but I approve. Good deal. I love it. Okay, so that's basically it. Pretty soon in the next patch, or maybe two, I have to double check with the current sprint, but we will have DD bands drawn, and they will be drawn on the left side of SPY only, just to test out that feature. Then we'll get into the others. So thanks for that, team. And I'm glad to see that we released 2.5.0 to you guys, and I know y'all wanted Doomsday for the longest time. Awesome. Okay, let's go through like a quickie, how to use Rocket Scooter. What is Rocket Scooter all about? By the way, I'm going to be on a podcast tomorrow. I'll be filming it tonight, so I'm very excited to even talk about the new features. But before we go through, and this afternoon, I'm going to go through some training stuff. So what I do in the mornings is I live stream for all the clients here. Then everybody is allowed to, you know, chill and hang out, which is fun. After that, we will go to Discord, and I'll usually post a Zoom link, and the Zoom link will stay together for like 1 to 2 hours, and we just train. So in the mornings, I'm going to use the platform to try to get into positions, and I'll show my positions, and then after an hour, we cut the stream. And then if you guys want to follow up with what's next, you join that Zoom call, and we record a ton of videos, and we do educational stuff, and we train, and we're through trade plans. And of course, I'll do the stuff that I'm doing here and continue that and show my positions later. Rock Scooter Team rocks. Thank you, Broke Sabbath. Love you, man. Yeah, it doesn't look good today. Like I said, today's irrational. Market's just being goofy. I'm really sitting on most of my buying power from last week, so I'm not really trying to do way too much here. Somebody's texting me about a commitment to traders trick. I love it. Yeah, it's so good. Maybe what was I trying to look at here? Yeah. Oops. Okay, so SPY has completely traded down into that band. Again, irrational data, is really not a lot to take from this. I am curious to see where SPY is landing, though. And if VIX is bumping into something. VIX is bumping into something, we might get an actual pivot. Let's pull VIX up on the chart and just see. Yeah, no plays today. The question is, is this dip buyable today? And I don't see any reason for the market to become spontaneously non-volatile from here. There is nothing for VIX to act against except for its own half gap, which is on the bottom side. So VIX can hit this and turn around, which could produce a bottom temporarily in the market. But as we know, right, when you're in that doomsday band area, we opened outside the band. Now we're inside of here. Any longs that I would or could take, exit on the band. We don't bet that you break the band and keep going. Normally, if you're in the band, you hit the top, you break out. I usually take profits and hold just a little bit in case it runs. Like the example on Friday, I held, you know, my swings until they ran and closed just about everything out. I was mostly cash yesterday. So if I'm scalping from here to here, for whatever reason, my exit targets become the top of the band, if I get it. Just sign up for the free trial of the Discord. For whatever reason, got insta-kicked from the Discord. Go insta-kicked. Yep. We don't have any mechanism that kicks anybody from the Discord that's kicking you. So if you send me a message in Discord, are you in the Rocket Scooter Discord or are you in another Discord that I'm an admin at? That's another question. We are at this Discord right here. Send me a message once you get there. I'll hook you up. I got you. Welcome aboard our 2 new lifetime members. We're glad to have you guys here. UVXY. Yeah, so nothing here. It's a bear short up. If you look at the liquidity map again, right here, it's just sandwiched between the two hedge pressures. I'm sorry, no. Sandwiched between the opening price and monthly. So on right here, we're in this range where this opening price and monthly is the pivot range. So we could get a very nasty drop today. UVXY would likely connect with monthly and pull back. So be careful trading any longs today on the actual stock market because VIX has the ability to climb to 10. And we don't expect VIX to break. It will take all day to probably get there if it does. And if it breaks, it's a big deal. So this is an irrational flag again if you break through monthly hedge pressure on VIX, which causes spontaneous volatility to compile on itself. And we don't want to trade like that, right? So it's a little suspicious where we are now. I might just, whatever little scalp I can get, I'm going to get out of the way, and that's it. Today's not going to be a continuation day. Likely not going to break highs. At best, likely retrace just half of what we saw fall. So on that note, let's go ahead and pull up S&P, and let's go ahead and draw a red line on today's fall. Because remember, every time the market moves lower, or higher, we need to always track our red lines. That's a thing. So if you want to know what red lines are, I want everybody here to go to this video real quick before I get out of here, and we're going to talk about some of these today. And we did a more detailed red lines video the other day. That'll show the 4 things I do to pick my profit and price targets on all the trades I do. And if we're looking at ES today, let's talk about some red lines. You see how this chart is littered with just levels. These are all pivots as well. These yellow lines, for instance, are major pivots when you touch them, when you break off of them, when you pass through any of them. These are other calculations we have. This guy right here. Go ahead and make this a little bigger. Anytime you get to these, you're going to see there's volume. Volume starts to climb as you're approaching it. Volume starts to climb as you're breaking through it, not breaking through it. So you can see that while volume is decaying, there's some bumps as you're interacting with that. Again, that's another thing that we teach here. It's a really cool tactic. Anytime you pass through it, actually, let me go to the minute chart, make it easier for you to see that. Anytime you pass through a yellow line, there's going to be ridiculous amounts of volume. It's a huge pivot. I mean, you cannot lie with looking at these volume spikes when you touch them. This immediate drop off of this exact level is forecast from a day in the past. So I'm going to show you how to generate one very quickly, and this will be a freebie, but you guys make sure you go to the Rocket Scooter website before I get out of here in like 10 minutes. Sign up for the free trial, and then we will continue this lesson over there, but we're not ending yet, so don't go anywhere. Won't let you post the pic, but now I'm trying to click links. Says unable to accept invite. Won't let you in. No, you're busy with everything. The only thing that's unable to accept invite has to do with you and your Discord. If you have Discord open in another browser and the platform, it's going to IP ban you in that particular sense. It keeps people, it's a Discord thing, not an R thing. So try from a different browser, or try closing Discord all the way down, opening it back up, try making a new account, all that stuff. If you can't get in on our side, we don't have anything that's banning you unless you come in and say certain keywords or spam or other things, but we're not, there's nothing that will be kicking you out unless you have like 2 accounts or something. Like if you have 1 account signed into one Discord and you try to like sign in on a browser, Discord kind of keeps you from like making fake accounts and joining multiple Discords. So those are the troubleshooting steps that I've heard work. Try them out. Okay, today's downward pressure. Let's see if we can't find any run leaks on the way down. And it looks like right out the door we have one. Impact straight off from here to here. Nope. Impact from here to here. Yeah, if you have Discord open in 2 places, it's probably it. On the same machine. I'm just reciting from our troubleshooting steps. I've heard people have said they've experienced that. Okay, so there's our run link, then our impact. Easy to see. They'll generate a yellow line from that. These are from that video I linked. I want everybody to watch that video today. That will teach you 4 tips on how to predict profit targets on all your trades, and I use them exclusively, and I really do nothing else. So let's leave this guy here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw myself my downside yellow line because FOMC is going to kick this market in a million different ways. Back and edit that later. Let's delete this old one because this one has been destroyed. No longer applies. This red line has been tapped. No longer applies. And I keep history. These boxes are just to keep history until we get this automated in our platform. So it's a little messy on the manual draw. Okay. That goes back to here. Oh yeah, there's another one there. Okay. So what is this guy doing, you may ask? Well, this is a cool trick. This forecasts profit targets at all-time highs and all-time lows. It forecasts breakout targets. It's a really neat technique. It's another exploit of the futures market. It's really cool to learn. If you guys want to learn this, please go to our website and take a look at it. I think that it's accidentally drawn in. Forgot to draw this one here. Okay. Assuming it's right there. We'll come back and fix it later. And I'm going to just come up and put this target here. Got targets. Easy peasy. If you want, Sam, send me a friend request and go to the Discord, and I'll try to bring you in manually if I can figure out a way to do that. So the top and bottom of these boxes where I draw the lines are the targets. The yellow ones are the ones on the way down. The solid ones are the ones on the way up. And again, as soon as they are, there was an impact down here somewhere. Go back and find it. I just accidentally deleted that one too. Let's go all the way back. Here. This is a cool trick. Okay, so what I'm mapping out are just a couple of targets that are going to be of interest to me as I'm trading. As you see, the upside, it might be hard to see if you've never seen it before because it does get a little messy. And you know what I might want to do just to clean it up a little bit? If I were to make these thick ones a weight 1, or these dash ones a weight 1, it might actually make it a little nicer. Yeah, I like that better. Just less. So I catalog all these levels, and on Rocket Scooter we get this thing automated for you. It's only going to show the whichever ones you want. You can select the next one, and you can have like maybe a flag you'd click and would just show the next one, or you can show all of them either day, or like just maybe the ones in the last month. We'll have options for you to flag some of them on or off to make it less messy. And these boxes also won't be there. That's just a way for me to see which ones are still active or not. So today, the upside target on this break from here goes to there. This break goes to here, and you see that is the first resistance we've seen. We are somewhat losing it today. But any continuation of this move, the next target goes to there. You see how that works? Think you make it better, Thinkorswim? I'm going to tell you a trick on Thinkorswim that'll immediately make you better at everything you ever do in trading. I'm about to change your trading game for the rest of your life. You ready for this? This is the best trading trick you've ever learned. It's not going to make you any money. It's not going to help you trade better. It's not going to do anything for you, but save you a whole lot of time. If you go to Thinkorswim, you highlight something, you click spacebar, it makes a copy of it, and then you can drag it over. And don't make fun of me that it took me 10 years of using Thinkorswim to finally learn that trick. Yeah, it's coming. But this is the best trading trick you'll ever learn on Thinkorswim. That not intuitively, you hit spacebar, you can copy a drawing and drag it around. Isn't that awesome? Saved you a whole lot of time. I saved you a whole lot of effort in your analysis. Now you can go lose money faster. That's awesome. Nobody knew it. That's what I'm saying. Nobody knew that. I never knew that. Somebody randomly stumbled in here and saw me doing it and was like, ooh, cringe. I was like, what do you mean cringe? And they're like, well, why are you doing right click, duplicate drawing, and just hit space bar? And I go, hit what bar? Huh? Space bar. Wait, what? Space bar. Oh yeah. It changed my trading game. Hands down. That's right. So, like I say, we are the repository of all things you didn't know about trading, including the spacebar trick. Okay, go to the Discord real quick. Like I said, I'm probably going to do nothing more. I'm still deciding if I want to double down on this ES and just scalp it back to the top. Like I said, it's irrational day. I mean, yes, NQ, I don't know. I don't really expect much. Like I said, I made 70K last week. You know, my Apple was up like maybe 2 or 3 this morning. It's pulling back. No big deal. All I want things to do is pull back so I can buy cheap tomorrow. I've got Google. I've got Apple just for swings, but they're through. I bought them before the IV built into the price. So they are going through the end of November, beginning of December, both of those strikes. And that's basically it. I'm still extremely bullish the index. As a matter of fact, I'm extremely bullish the index for this week. I think after FOMC, the rally will be unstoppable. And we'll talk about that thesis in just a second. I really want everybody to do me 2 favors. If you have not yet, I want you to go to the Rocket Scooter website. How do you get there? Oh, well, it's very simple. This is your second best trading trick I'll ever teach you. RocketScooter.com. Got a lot of stuff in there for us. You know, we have the trading platform of the future. I guess literally, because it's being built in front of your very eyes. So everything we do release comes from the future. Which reminds me of one of my favorite jokes from Mitch Hedberg. If you remember Mitch Hedberg, where he goes, you know, when a guy comes up to you and says, look, hey, here's a picture of me from the past. And he goes, all pictures of you are pictures of you from the past. Every one of them. That's the point of a picture. Now, you're like, yeah, it's true. Here's me from the past. Yeah, they're all pictures of you. Every picture is from you in the past. Now I'll show me a camera that takes pictures of the future. Then I'll be excited. You know, rest in peace. We gotta love Mitch Hedberg, one of my favorite comedians ever. Go to the Discord. Get over there now. We'll be starting a Zoom session in about 5 minutes. And I want you guys all, while you're there, go there, get in the free trial. There's 2 buttons you click. And as soon as you click those buttons, you'll have access to everything we do. Thanks for tuning in.